Apparently, this was going cray-cray yesterday, bro. The Detroit Lions players are very upset with the NFL. And what the NFL and Louis Riddick did was disgusting. And all they did, basically what they did is say, we cheated you and put a middle finger up to your face. So what happened was, NFL Films released on Twitter a video of why Brian Burns slapped Juju Smith-Schuster. And was showing the plays where he was getting juked and, they was catching the ball on him, and basically said it wasn't the fact that Juju blocked him in the back. It's because Kansas City targeted him and they cooked him all game, right? And this basically was them justifying why they got, he smacked him and why they suspended him. And you didn't get cheated, Detroit, right? But we all know that he was on the bad. They specified this many a times that night, that he was on the bad ankle. Kirby was on the bad knee, right? We was down to our 4th, 5th string DBs. I mean, it is what it is. We understood that we were the underdogs for a reason. When we come out there and play the way we played, and y'all still cheat, and we down, down 2 left tackles, and y'all still cheat us, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, we out here, and we got a lot of our backups in, our star safeties, they both, limping out here. And for y'all to cheat us, and y'all cheat us that way, and we at a disadvantage, it's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's seen it. And I like the fact that the Detroit Lions players was like, you know what? Amara Ra was saying, we had plenty of plays to make. We felt like we beat ourselves. We didn't get cheated. That's the politically correct answer, right? That's what you're supposed to say. You don't make excuses. But behind the scenes, this post, and they deleted it, and obviously it was screenshotted. This post, it validates it. It validates that they cheated you. Why do you need to cover up something if it's nothing to cover up? So, and then it's kind of twofold. It's kind of 3 or 4 face folded, because when you look at it, come on, Crow, move out the way. I don't want to hit a crow. Yes. How about the way? Eat the dead possum. You got to remember too, they got Louis Riddick. Think about that. Y'all know why Louis Riddick is important? Louis Riddick was in position to get the Detroit Lions job as the GM. He did not get the job. They gave it to Brad Holmes, and I'm pretty sure at the time he felt like he was more qualified than Brad Holmes. Obviously, right now he don't have a job, right? And Brad Holmes is doing a phenomenal job. So they go get Louis Riddick, who got probably something against the Lions. He thought he wanted a job. He wanted to get a job that he thought he should have got, and he didn't get the job. So you go get a guy that already mad at the Detroit Lions for not giving him an opportunity to do this. Oh, this is why he did this, and this is why he did that. At the end of the day, it's Thursday. Real talk, by this time, we should be moving on talking about Baker, and we should be talking about the Lions versus Monday night and how it's some hoe-ass shit that we got another doubleheader on Monday night at home. You got to remember, most of our primetime games, except for 1 or 2, are, or 3, if you count Thanksgiving or whatever it is, they're on the road. So, the one time we get a primetime game at the crib, guess what? It's a double fucking header on Monday night. So that just lets you know that they don't like Detroit. And I've already historically done videos. I talked about in another video why they don't like the city of Detroit. Most of them cities that was predominantly white, that black people took over, they have a vendetta against those cities. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact. But DJ Reader spoke out about it and said, like, they got Louis Riddick out here raccooning, and he was. He spread his cheeks over for Roger Goodell and bent over like Roger and he was out here buffooning and raccooning. Even Dan Skipper didn't like it. And I put it all that on the screen. They didn't like it, and they basically what they doing is saying, we fucked you, so what? We cheated y'all. What y'all gonna do about it? That's the one by the NFL releasing that video and putting it on that public platform. That was a big middle finger to Detroit. That's what it was. It was a huge middle finger to the city of Detroit. So we fucked y'all over. So what? We used to fucking y'all over. So when somebody tell you they cheated you and what you gonna do about it, Dan Campbell said everything he wanted to say about it. When he went on 97 on the ticket and said the referee told him that New York overturned it, and then they lied about it in a pool report, that let you know everything you need to know. This is why when places like Detroit, Cleveland, Minnesota, Minneapolis, when them Jacksonville and teams like Philly and all, when they win championships, it's despite the league. Every year in the NBA, they would love it to be the Lakers in Boston. That's what they would love it to be. They would love to have the Kobe Bryants, LeBron James in LA, the Birds and the Paul Pierces, and rest in peace to Reggie Lewis. They would love to have them in Boston every year. They would love to have that to be every year. They don't want to see Atlanta win it. They don't want to see DC win nothing. They don't even want to see the teams in Texas win anything. In NFL every year, if it could be Mahomes, if they can make it worse, Mahomes and Josh Allen every year in the Super Bowl, I know they do different conferences, they could. It's quite sad that sports is fixed and they do it on purpose. And you seen what happened when they let them play in the Super Bowl. Kansas City didn't even look like it was a top 10 team last year. But yeah, that irked everybody. That's basically them putting the middle finger up to the city of Detroit, to Detroit. Yeah, we fucked y'all. What y'all gonna do about it? Then they had Jordy Nelson is the one who suspended Green Bay Packers. Jordy Nelson is the one who suspended Brian Branch and upheld his suspension. So, when I look at these stories, though, I already know. I always think about the Pistons and how they did the Pistons and all that, created all these rules, how they did San Antonio when they were successful, created all these rules to keep San Antonio not successful. They did all that shit on purpose, though. I'm telling y'all, all that shit was by design. So, Louis Riddick is a clown. The NFL is a clown, and that was their omission. And they middle finger to the city of Detroit. Yeah, we fucked you. What you gonna do about it? If you go back to the Green Bay game on Sunday night with Trey Flowers some years ago, you go back when the Golden Tate scored the touchdown versus Atlanta, and they don't care until one of the referees get their ass whooped. To Roger Goodell come here and get pressed. Remember Jack Mikowski? He traded Adrian Dantley, and they pressed him at the red light. Until somebody in the city of Detroit beat the fuck out of one of these refs, excuse my language, or beat the hell out of Roger Goodell, they ain't gonna learn their lesson. I ain't saying you should do it. You shouldn't do it. But until they get us scared, they gonna keep fucking over the city. We gotta take the championship. That's just simple as that. They ain't gonna do us no favors, but hit the link in the description. Follow us on X, Instagram, Facebook, Kick. I'm everywhere. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, wherever in the link tree, my other platforms. Check it out. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Peace.